given the scope and breadth and depth of human suffering and social misery in the world, that we all have to be jazz-like and multi-contextual and look at all forms of weaponry to try to alleviate that suffering and that misery. So it means you find yourself in situations in which you are supporting persons and institutions that are forces for good. If we're in Tunisia a year or so ago, you joined the revolution. A year and a few months ago, I joined Occupy. The question becomes, are we able to be flexible and fluid enough as opposed to being dogmatic and doctrinaire
and see, Dr.
to see
West,
all these different forces for good?
This is precisely why I couldn't join Occupy, because the dogma and the doctrinaire nature, the sloganeering that replaced thinking, was something that simply did not speak to my values, and yet I share broad aspirations for justice, for equality, for human dignity.
But Occupy was
but
such
so often critiques come from a place of hatred for the other, of demonizing the wealthy.
But Occupy was such a heterogeneous movement that you could talk to one person 1 minute and get one thing and talk to somebody else and get something else, because it was so various and capacious in the variety of voices that it had. And so you may have just run into certain dogmatic ones, but you stay later on till the afternoon. And you'll see some non-dogmatic ones in there, because it's so heterogeneous. You know, that was part of the criticism.
I got the morning people.
Yeah, exactly. You probably early in the morning. Yeah, they hadn't loosened up yet. But